Listen to this. Time only waits for the state that creates. And I'm honestly too rich to care about manifestation. Some of you guys will drop out now. He's too cocky to make this video. I'm only stating what you should state. This video is going to be about how to become rich by first becoming rich internally. This is one of the keys to manifestation. And by employing this, I recently had a guy comment on my YouTube that $50,000 just came into his bank account unexpectedly. And every day, if you look at the comments under my videos, you'll see just results after results after results. This is how you do it. I'll give you 5 pieces of analogies on this iPad. I'll draw it for you where you can implement this in your life. And this is for you to understand it better because there's only one key and it's you, right? Everything is as you seem. You're so used to saying everything is as it seems. Change it around. So these are 5 keys for you to recognize the power is you. The external world is a representation of you. So how do we change ourselves? Manifestation is self-mastery. Let's do this. First off, there's only one state that leads you to your desired reality. We've talked about this before, but this is you, right? And from you, we have all possible states, which means all possible timelines, right? If you have a desired timeline to enter into, where you have that specific car, partner, house, it means that it's only the embodiment of one state that gives you that. So the question is, well, what state is that state, right? What state is that state? And that's what you want to know. You're asking me, can I manifest multiple things at the same time? Well, you are always manifesting multiple things at one time. This is not a trick you employ on reality. This is how reality works. So what is that one state? It is that to know that one state to be unfolding. It is as simple as play a Netflix movie. Press play, and then you know that movie is running. Every time you then enter, let's say you press play on this reality, right? This one. But let's say you press play on another reality of doubt. Then you play that Netflix movie. Then how quickly can you find yourself back to equilibrium? How can you find yourself back to that state? So there's no work for you to do. There's no affirmations. It's simply, what reality do I choose today to view the unfolding of? Every desire will not happen today. It will not happen in a month or 2 months, but you are watching this movie. So imagine tomorrow waking up and say, so what movie will I watch today? I will have everything I want. And then just choose to be it. This is an oversimplification. It's actually the truth, but there's steps to realizing that this is true for you as well. So there's only one state, and that's the state of knowing. And that's why I call it the law of knowing. Because it is realizing that there is nothing out there. It is simply knowing that you get to have it all. You are an extension of God. Having amnesia, right? You forgot. So that's why I called this drawing or this document, time only waits for the state that creates. Sounds nice. It's also true. When you talk about delay in manifestation, it's actually waiting for you. When will you take on the state of knowing it to be true? When will you do it? When will you allow it in? Well, right? You're sitting there, doubting yourself, not knowing what to do, when reality is telling you there's nothing to do. When will you just go to the end state, right? And say, it's done, like Neville tells you to do. So there's only one state, and it's about occupying that state. And the reason why I say this is because it's also mentioned in religion. God only has one face, right? There's only one God. And what that actually means is that every time you're stepping out of that state, it's the representative of sinning. You are doing what you're not supposed to do. But you're supposed to know yourself from the angle of, I get to have it all. And then you get to forgive the sinning version of you and say, I will be tomorrow reborn as the person having it all. But it's not showing, Chris. That's another state. Would you like to play that Netflix movie? No. Okay, say the other sentence again with me. I get to have it all. Good. Let's watch that movie today and tomorrow. Let's start knowing that to be true. And then it will show. That's how this works. So that's the first analogy, is that you have to realize there's no trying. There's no steps towards the state. It's the embodiment of that state that you get to have it all. Just know it to be true. It's so simple. Right? And if another way of watching this is not how reality works, but this is how you could watch it, right? So we have two movies, right, with a lot of scenes. Okay? And this is you, and this is 3D, like the external reality that you observe right now. And in between them, we have delay, right? And you often comment on this delay saying, but how should I tackle this? And I'm telling you, okay, you have a desire, right? And you have a knowing. So immediately when you have a desire, you attach it to knowing, okay, I want that, I can have it. You press play on this movie, all right? At the beginning of the movie. Okay? The knowing is at the end of the movie, right? It's going down here. But everything in between, right? That's the unseen. Right? You know the desire, you know the knowing, but the unseen you don't know yet. Let's put unseen. What I'm telling you is that when you go and you know it to be true, all of it, internally, right? That movie is the one being played later in 3D. It's always the same movie, just with a slight delay. All right? So let's say that in external reality, this red part in the middle, right? This red part that I just drawed out, that's contrast. That is a lot of bills to pay. Right. You have a desire to be very abundant in the beginning. You have the knowing that it will happen. You can see yourself being very rich. And then you have a lot of bills. Then it's your job in the you, inside you, to realize, okay, I can take this and include it in my you and say, this is me. The bills is me. Or I can keep on taking this part and saying, this is me. Right. So it's really about, would I take the contrast? Would I take and reproduce it? If we know, and we do, that this is a one-to-one relationship. It's the same movie playing in two places, inside and outside. Then what will you do? Well, obviously, you would be very focused about changing the you movie, because that's the thing being reflected. So every time you take on to these 3D, you need to not know it's you, right? You need to not take it in and say, well, it is me. Because the moment you take it in, right, you enter into a loop, right? Then this goes, 3D goes, now it gets to be a lot of lines at the same time. It goes right back into you, and then it goes right back into the movie. You just keep on. That quite possibly is maybe what you're doing right now, okay? So it is including only what is relevant. Your desire, your knowing. End part, don't care. I'm too rich to care about manifestation. And that's why I said that sentence. Because you're simply too good to forget that you are an extension of God. That you hold all the power within you. You're simply too healthy, too wealthy, too wise. All right? So it's time to do a factory reset. Right? We have this giant factory here. Right? And then we have, it looks like pi signs, it's tables. Let's say it's tables. Right? That's actually a very bad analogy. but I've used it before. I'd never drawn it before, but you are the factory, right? That is you. And this is your creation. And instead of you keep on commenting on this, but I don't want this. I don't want bills to pay. I don't want a low bank account number. Well, it's constantly being produced in the factory of you. So when you say, okay, I see lack, right? Lack is in my production. The factory made it, all right? And you call the factory yourself. Lack, right? You call the factory, hey, I want more lack. I see lack. All right, we'll produce more of it, right? And then you do that, and you really go hard on it, right? So you create lack. I know this is very simple, but I think you get the point, right? You create lack times 1,000. So now you have created lack for 1,000 days. And please don't take this into your assumption that it has to take 1,000 days, right? This is an example. Okay, know it to be true that you did not create this, all right? But it's to give you, like, you have included so much lack that the factory is right now stocking, right? Filling the aisles with lack of your life. And then one day you just say, okay, but I will need to change. So you take it all out. Okay. And you'll say, no matter what I see wealth. Right? So this, no connection right now. You look at creation, you look down here and you say, but I still see lack. I still see lack. Right? But now you choose to say, but I'm wealth. I see lack, and that's actually proof of my manifestation because I created lack times 1,000. But so how many days will I have to feel wealth? I'll say forever. Right? Time only waits for the state that creates. So it's not about being it until you see it, and then you can start leaning on external reality. Nope. I'm sorry, but you have to stick with God inside you. You have to stick with what you know to be true. And everything outside is always changing. It's the world of the dying, as Neville would say. Everything is changing except your power. It never changes. It's always the same. You always have the huge responsibility and the huge freedom to just choose your external reality. So now we'll choose wealth. Okay. And you have a huge back order of a lot of lack. So now you will have to choose wealth for some time for reality to change. And again, don't pick this assumption. Don't think, okay, that's why I'm waiting. Include it in your now moment. Know it to be true. But instead of asking me, when will reality change? Know it to be true that it will change the moment you change. Time only waits for the state that creates. So be that state. And stick to that state. All right? Good. And here's the jump that we want to make. It is internal, which is perception, and external, what you see. Right? And internal, job I hate. You'll tell me on a call, I have a job I hate. And external, yeah, that will give you a job you hate. Always 1-to-1, right? These two are equals, right? Those two lines are always the same. And some of you guys are having an epiphany on calls with me when I show you this list because you're like, oh, yes, I struggle to manifest, right? All right. Well, struggle it is. You want to produce that? Fine by me, right? Maybe you get the idea now. But I doubt that I can manifest. All right. Let's manifest that. And you'll say, so it's that simple? I need to change my perception? Bingo. It is. It is. That's the starting point of creation. Because you're the creation, right? You're this point of view right now. And I'm telling you, don't change what's in your view. Look a different place, all right? Look inside you. I had a client tell me he's very rich. I never see synchronicities. And I've said to him, okay, remember the list? What's your perception? And he said, my perception is that I never see synchronicities. I just hung up the phone. No, I didn't. But he was about to do it, right? Because he instantly know, yeah. So he said to me, okay, so from today on, I see a lot of synchronicities. Yes, you do. Correct. In assumption, always. Time only waits for the state that creates. And 2 days went by, and he sent me a message, Chris, synchronicities all over the place. Yes, I know. I know how this works. And you do too. So you can see how only one state, only one thing on this list will give you what you want. Only one thing will be the same. Only one thing will be the same. All right? So now you need to turn it around and say, what if instead of like reality having everything I want and I'm not having it, what if it's the other way around? What if I just choose to switch the flip and say, I'm rich. So if we have the two lists again, right? I am rich. But reality is trying to keep me broke. Like if it's a friend, right? It's a friend, reality, 3D reality over here, like external reality as you see it, and you. It's trying to make you broke. What are you going to stick to? Is it true? This is exactly the same example as I gave you when I said, so if I said to you, the listener out there, you have ugly blue hair, would you listen? No. Why? Because you know who you are. You don't have blue hair, right? Except if you do, then I'm sorry. But I'm not sorry that you have blue hair, but I'm sorry that I said it's ugly. Right? Then you would say, no, I don't. And that's the same here. So you're turning it around. Instead of saying external reality is showing me what is real, external reality is showing me what is not real. It's an old reflection. Reality is dying. Right? So instead of saying, I want this wants me. It wants me to be like that. And no, I will not participate in it. I will no longer listen. For once in my life, I will decide who I am. Instead of parents telling you who you are, friends telling you who you are, society telling you who you are, you can do a good job of telling yourself who you are. Because you know it. You say it all the time, that's not me. You say it also on calls with me, I feel so bad because I know I'm not that person. Well, you feel bad because you know it. Because you're out of alignment. So you're not feeling bad because you are it. You're feeling bad because you feel it. Right? Get the difference? Turn it around for 30 days, 60 days, actually for the rest of your life. Like you're the creative power of your universe. You decide. Man. You are one with the fabric of reality. And time only waits for the state that creates. Right? You turn it around. So you say, I'm healthy. And reality shows you not. Right? And you say, so would I accept it? My friend is telling me. Actually, it's not your friend, right? But your friend is telling you, no, you're not. And you say, I am. And your friend is telling you, you have blue hair. And you're saying, no, I don't. I know who I am. I'm really trying to make this simple. I'm not saying it's easy. I know for that final step, realizing that you're the only puzzle piece, is takes for you to look at your 1,000 puzzle pieces right now. And you come to me and you say, solve this puzzle with me, Chris. and I'm just throwing the pieces out and say, but there's only one piece. Turn it around. You're turning it around and it says you. And then you start asking me, so how should I turn it? This one piece puzzle, right? And I say, it doesn't matter. There's only one state, one puzzle piece. It's for you to decide what you know to be true. And doubt, that's another puzzle piece. And you can actually throw it out. I know for some of you it takes practice, but start getting used to a new internal dialogue, a new paradigm. Wake up knowing yourself to be renewed. You have the decision today, tomorrow, the day after that, all right? I think this is a very powerful video if you can really take it in, these exercises. Okay? The one state that will get you to your fulfilled desire. The two movies. Will you reproduce what you don't like in the movie? The factory reset. When will you start producing what you want? And the jump to only knowing one state to be true, and that is the reflection instead of switching between states that it's not the reflection you want. And turn it around. Simply taking everything you want, it's yours. Reality is just not showing it to you until you stand strong. Yeah, that's good, right? I think it is. Thank you. Enjoyed it. Get out of here. Bye.